you drink when you DJ?
No, I try not to. Like, if I need a little, like, to get loose a little bit, to, like, get out of my head, I'll, like, take a shot or...
All right. Pay attention. We're going to teach you something real special today. This is two coins with my boy Wally, then Ronnie, wherever you're at, we're at. Showing two sides of the same coin. Let me know what y'all think. 2 coins. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today.
And welcome back to the 2 Coin Podcast. It's your boy Ronnie.
And I'm your brother Waleed, the other side of the coin. Today's episode is brought to you by Creativity, because the woman to my right is a certified creative, and it's been a long time coming to have her on the show. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we'll get right into the conversation.
Yeah, like you said, long-time creative. My name is Zuri Lazar. Go by Zuri Alexa for my DJ name. I'm a percussionist, DJ, event curator, dope person.
Wear many hats.
Hell yeah. Honestly, I feel like the introduction, you was kind of being humble about yourself. And I'll say this because it was kind of like what we were talking about off panel. You mentioned you being a DJ, and I'd asked you how long you did it, and you said since November?
Yeah, November.
I was having a conversation with a homie about how it's like certain people, when they get into different lanes or different industries, other people within that have had to work longer to get, like, you know how you got a residency?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a bit of animosity or a bit of whatnot. And to be honest, like, you a perfect example of, you know what I mean, building your connections first. So then when you tap into your connections at a later date, you know what I mean, people know your personality. People know you already.
Get rolling
You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I feel like you was being humble on who you was, you know what I mean? You around, people know who she is, her name, you know what I mean, in the creative spaces.
I must have missed that conversation that you guys had off air, because that's surprising to me. You started this past November 2023?
Yeah, November officially.
You already killing gigs out here. So salute to you. It's not even been a year, and you're already out here, you know, pushing the boundaries. So what made you get into DJing? Let's just start there.
So I've been around DJs for like the last maybe like 3-4 years. So 2019, and I've just been around music all my life. Like, again, we were talking off camera saying that I'm a percussionist, and so music's always been around. And I've always had an interest in DJing, but in these last couple years, I've been around. Shout out to the homie DJ Lex Appeal, and then also Tommy, aka Chale Brown, has kind of taken me under his wing. So, you know, he's a DJ, been a DJ. They've been DJs for like the past 15 years. And so just being around them, it was like, all right, let me give it a go. Honestly, I could have got started a lot earlier than that, or a lot sooner. But I don't know. I just didn't want to be like what I feel like everybody wants to be a DJ nowadays, and that's cool. That's great.
Everybody trying to be a podcast.
Exactly, you know? Everything, you know. And it's just like that's cool. Like I appreciate people for trying things out, but for me, like, if I'm gonna do something, I really want to do it. Like, I want to be good. So for me, I was like, all right, I have to be serious about it. And like, not necessarily serious, but I really have to put in effort to do it, you know?
So you came up under these guys' wings, so to speak, just kind of learning the ropes and being a student of the game. So when you were around these DJs, did you have the intent of eventually, like, becoming a DJ after you learned from them? Or is it something that you picked up along the way that kind of called your name, just seeing them doing it?
Definitely something I picked up, because I think for myself, as a event curator, like, I love community gatherings, all those different things, and like making those things happen. So for me, it felt like, all right, I'll do that part, you know, when it comes to events, like, y'all can handle the music. I've always been a music head. Like, I have a deep appreciation for it, but I don't necessarily need to be in charge of doing that. I don't need to do it. But for me, like, it was like, okay, I should just, let me try it out. Let me see what happens. And then I just tried it, and the momentum just hit. Like, everybody's like, all right. And my mentor, he kind of threw me in the fire of like, all right, well, you started DJing, so now I'm going to put you in a gig because I need help to cover this night. And it's like, okay, like, what am I going to say no?
Yeah, that's the best way to learn too, is stepping like completely out of your comfort zone and being nervous about what you're about to do. The best way to learn is being thrown directly into the fire.
Yeah.
Now, you saying your mentor, was he your mentor through music, or was it before, and then he was just like, yo, I'm doing these gigs, go ahead, you say you have an interest in this?
So I met him, when was it, 2022 or 2021? either way, I think it was 2021, Jazz Fest, and his office is like right across the street from where like Nirvana Soul. So I was just always used to kick it there, and then he needed help with some like volunteer work for he was curating a stage. He just needed some help, so I was like, okay, I'll help. And then kind of seeing what he's done and like what he does around the city with music and events and curation, all these things, concerts. I just saw that he needed more help, so I was like, all right, like, let me just help you.
Yeah.
And then so it just started from there, and like now I've been like more integrated into things. So learning how to set up everything, learning everything about music equipment that I could possibly know, or how to do things in an emergency, or taking a big ass sub 4 blocks down the street, and just all these different things he's kind of like trusted me with. And from going from like doing errands for him for these shows to like helping plan and like run the show. So it's been over some years for me helping him, and then now me diving into it. And it's like, okay, now you have this skill and you know how to DJ. Now you can really, really help me. Like now you can be put in, if I need coverage for this and that. If I can't do this gig, I'm gonna put you in there instead. So yeah, that's been tossed in the fire several times.
That's what's up. It seems like you picked it up quickly then.
Yeah.
How many sets would you say you've done like solo by yourself since you've went full time at it?
Man, like a set, like as in like maybe like an hour set, or like just like a full like just by myself, a full night by myself.
A full night by yourself.
About 4.
Okay.
Yeah, and those ones are like pretty long. Like when
Talking
you do
about,
it by
like, 3
yourself,
4 hour sets, yeah.
4 hours. I did one with like, because I have a residency at the Signia Hotel, and I had like, I just played for 2 hours that night, but then my mentor realized, he was like, oh snap, I don't think we have anybody for tomorrow because somebody canceled. So then he's like, can you do it? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. 4 hours just playing in a hotel by myself.
Takes a little bit of stamina, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I appreciate though, because it's like, all right, I need that endurance, especially when you're playing like late at night, or if I go on to be a headliner or something someday, it's like, all right, I have to stick around until like 1 a.m. to play or to do all these things. So it's like, yeah, that builds the stamina for sure.
You mentioned, sorry, Ronnie.
No, you go ahead.
You mentioned you had a residency, and I heard you guys talking about that offline a little bit too. So explain to me and the people what a residency is. So does like a venue give you a residency and they give you like consistent pay to be able to perform on X night, or is it something completely different?
Yes. So a residency is, well, I mean like a residency anywhere. So you have a spot that's carved out for you every so often. So residencies could be whether it's weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, like whatever the venue wants or whatever you guys, land
Discuss,
on. Yeah. For me, it's monthly. So it's every third Friday at the hotel. And then, yeah, you get, consistent pay depending on how long you play. But yeah, it's a spot just for you for every so often. So yeah, monthly. Some people do have weekly residencies. That's crazy to me because that's a lot of.
It's a lot of commitment.
It's a lot.
And you can have multiple residencies at different venues, right?
Exactly.
So here's the thing. It depends. It depends what other venues you're going to
True.
and who the ownership group is. Because you know what I mean. I'll just say like even in my job, like we have certain DJs that come like that have certain residencies that already come. Whether it's this Thursday of the month, this Friday of the month. Like we have a band, different bands that come once a month on Sundays. You know what I mean? But here's the other side of it. Some places, like when you get a residency, they don't let you go get residencies elsewhere, or you can't perform at certain venues or whatnot.
So there's politics involved.
Definitely.
Oh, super politics, bro. Because it's all, at the end of the day, it's all ego, it's all emotion, and it's all personalities.
Yeah.
That's all entertainment is. So when it comes to that, everybody's just trying to be the only guy that's doing everything, but you can't do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't perform everywhere.
Those are also like sticky situations to be in, because especially when it comes to DJing or any type of gig work, being able to play at a lot of different places is what gets you like money. Like you don't get money just based off of get money based off of showing up and playing, like and for DJs it's like, all right, we get paid for sometimes the set might be an hour, might be two, it depends on what it is. But so the more you have, of course, the more you earn. So things like that where it's like, okay, I can't perform here or I can't play here because y'all got beef.
Yeah.
That's hurting me because I got to pay my bills.
And it's not like you're going to book me for this spot on the day. I need to perform on a Saturday.
I need to go somewhere else as well, you know?
And then there's also politics amongst DJs, you know what I mean? If you get a residency at a spot that somebody else has been trying to get a residency, you know what I mean? There's animosity amongst the people.
People feel like you're stepping on toes. So
yeah, or if somebody has a residency somewhere and then you know what I mean, you make a connection or you know the owner or whatnot. Like, you know what I mean? If my homie was the owner and it's like, hey, let me just spin on Fridays. Yeah, brody, I got you. You know, it's all love. Meanwhile, their resident DJ's gonna be like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? You know what I mean? There's
oh my gosh, I feel like.
It's like high
just
school.
Getting into it, it's crazy because it never ends, and it, like you said, it's in every type of industry. It just shows up differently, but the same things happen, and I don't know why. Like I wasn't necessarily ignorant to it, but I think it's just interesting for me to kind of like see how it plays out in music, and especially in like DJing, and like you know, like with what I do, I don't only just dabble in DJing, but like. Being able to book live talent, so you know different singers, bands, and all that, and like even seeing and talking to them about those type of politics, and it's like, dang, like you're famous as fuck, and you have to deal with this shit too. Like
they probably got to deal with it way worse.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Yeah, because of that fame too, of like some people trying to like use you as a little pawn or as
everybody's a meal ticket. Like you know what I mean? They just see zeros after your name. Like
that shit is crazy.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, as they say.
Yeah.
Man,
but the way y'all were breaking it down, honestly, it doesn't seem too different from like a corporate office politic type of structure. That's literally exactly how the game is played in the business world, the corporate world too. Yeah. I feel like it's just an American capitalist system type of thing.
Honestly,
it's just human ego, bro.
Yeah.
Cause shoot, even talking to the homie Alexa Peel, she went overseas recently to like the UK, Portugal, and stuff, and people there like she was like, bruh, like everybody there was she went out there with one gig and then she came out with like hella more by the end of her trip because people were like, oh, just pull up to here, like. All the DJs were like, yeah, come play. Oh, whereas here, that doesn't happen because people are like, well, this is my, like, I'm not going to just invite you to, you know, like, it's so much, like, gatekeeping in that way. But out there, it just seems like they're like, hey, you got your USB on you? Like, come play.
It's a lot more love shown and a lot more camaraderie.
And I'm like, yeah, because everybody could eat. Like, everybody's always going to need DJs. Everybody's always going to need a barber. Everybody always got hair.
Exactly.
Everybody wants
that's a
music.
profession that ain't going nowhere, bro. Like
not at all, unless like the earth somehow becomes a place where you can't grow hair. Like, that'd be nuts.
Everybody just wake up one day just bald.
Bald as hell. Oh my God.
That's one of them quote unquote recession-proof type of jobs.
Yeah.
To where no matter what happens to the economy, everybody's always going to want to go out and drink and party.
Yeah.
That part.
No matter how broke they are.
Especially whenever they say, oh my God. Okay, so they said when like recession hits, that's when house music and dance music starts to get really, really popular. So even right now, like the K-Trinadas of the world, a lot of people are going back to house and like more like really, really upbeat styles of music. And it's because it you know, it gives you that like feeling of like, and I'm like, that's insane.
Because like when music it speaks to the soul, as they say. And house music, I forgot who said it. I think it was Skepta. It was a UK artist.
Skepta.
He said, if you're a fan of music, you are a fan of house music. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there might be some truth to that because that's one of the only types of music that you can really like feel in your body. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not like I sit and listen to house every day.
Me neither.
I don't got house in it, but it's one of those. If it plays, I'm not just gonna be like, no, fight the feeling.
Honestly, there's a lot of even so. I think people don't necessarily know the depths of house music. I think they hear because, of course, a lot of people think house and they think EDM or and those are like completely fucking different things. Because house is even more like soulful. It has like that consistent beat, but like it's a lot more than people think it is. So I feel like even if you probably heard some house music, you might not even know if it was house. You know?
I feel like when you say the word house, what jumps into most people's minds is just rave, Popping X.
And that's a type of house music, but
there's
it's
a bunch
not
of sub-genres.
exactly
Yeah.
like Chicago house. Like seeing
House
the
gotta
depth
be one of the
it.
biggest like subgenre categories, huh?
Definitely. And again, people don't know it. Like they don't know until they hear. There was just a house music like party in Oakland, and like, you know, all the DJs are play. Like I didn't get to go, but it looked really dope. But all the DJs were like playing music, and I was watching the videos, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, that's a house song." I'm like, "Yeah, it's all house." Like they're like, "Oh shit!" Like maybe I do like house for real. And I'm like, "Yeah." Like you said, you don't know if you like house until you hear some house.
Until you hear it, I want to go back to a point that you mentioned earlier about, you know, being under mentorship and having to earn your stripes, so to speak, to get to where you are now and where you want to go. I kind of have a two-part question. Is this particular industry, the DJing industry, a male-dominated space like most other industries in America?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and then part two would be, is there any type of challenges or situations that you had to overcome on your climb up, being a woman, especially like a black woman, in like coming up in this industry?
Yeah, I think like you said, like in any industry, like men just are there, like, and they're in those places of power. So even if you are the most talented DJ, even if you are really, really famous, if you're black, if you're a woman, if you're both of those, you're going to face like some type of, like somebody questioning your knowledge and someone questioning like if you should be there or not. Doesn't matter if your name is bigger than theirs or, you know, and for me, I haven't necessarily got to those levels where it's like very, very apparent. And I think especially having a mentor who's a man has kind of helped that, because they see like, oh, he believes in you and he believes in your talent and your skill. So it's not, I feel like I'm not being put into question as much, but I think in those spaces that people don't know he's my mentor, I for sure get like those kind of like, how do you know, what do you know about this? Like, and people are often surprised at what I do know, or like what I can do, or even my skill level. And I'm like, I'm not just here. Like,
I'm not just existing.
How did I get in here? You know,
it has to be frustrating having to, I guess, prove your validity to people when you don't really necessarily have to.
Have you performed outside of Cali, or been in the music spaces outside of Cali?
Been there, but not performed anywhere. Like, yeah. Like,
when I say been there, I mean like in those spaces where you get judged for your knowledge. Because I feel like, you know what I mean, again, this is an outside looking in perspective. Yeah. I feel like Cali is way more tolerant, and you can't really use it as a sample size of the way, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like if you get in like minor pushback out here, or 20%, you got to times that by like 3-4 for the rest of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you go to Nebraska.
Nebraska, Omaha. Yeah, I recently went to New York last October, and that was my first time out there, and it was just really, really dope. But I remember I went into this record store, and I was like, again, I hadn't started DJing for real yet. I had practiced a little bit, but I didn't like declare it for myself. But I was looking for records, and I pulled out this record of this. I'm Trinidadian, so there was this Trinidadian artist. His name is Sparrow, and of course on the East Coast there's a lot of Caribbeans and all these things. And so I pulled out that record and I started looking at it, and like the guy who was there just kind of came up to me. He's like, "What you know about that?" And I'm like, because I was, you know, holding it for a long time. And he's like, "Well, what would you know about that?" Like, well, one, is before my time. Two, like, I don't know. Do I not look like I listen to music? I don't know. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So just like, it's like, I'm just holding a record. Why do you have to, like, what are you questioning me for? Oh, you going to ask me, like.
Did I just catch you having fun?
Yeah, did I just catch you having fun? Like, bruh, like, and it's just like, I'm just, why does it have to become what do you know about this? Like, those people, when they see you wear a band tee and they're like, name 3 whatever song, like, no.
It's like, no, I just like the shirt.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, me talking about, oh yeah, well, I'm Trinidadian, I grew up listening to him, and then it was like, oh, again, having to prove that I know something. Yeah. And it's like,
what was it like growing up out here, do y'all got a big Trinidadian
Hell
community
no.
out here? Like, how tapped in are you with your roots?
I feel like for someone who was born and raised in California and still lives in California, I'm pretty tapped in I could be for being out here. But yeah, there's not a huge Trinidadian nor Caribbean population out here. You might find a couple of people, people's accents are very like, you just hear it, you can distinguish it pretty easily. So when I do meet a Caribbean, even if they're not Trinidadian, I'm like, oh, like, because we share something.
It's like Spider-Man meme.
Exactly. And when I went to New York, I was stayed in Bed-Stuy, and there was a whole street of Trinidadian restaurants, and I'm just hearing everybody's accents, and I was like,
how'd that feel? Like in the moment walking by?
It was crazy, just because I'm like, yo, like, these are all things I grew up with and like that were really special to me, but they're just so commonplace out here that it's just like, what, like not even whatever, but like it's just normal. But for me, these things are treats, or they're like once in a while things I see or hear or get to experience. So like just walking around hearing people that sound like my uncles and aunties, like it's like whoa, it's just weird.
It's a trip, bro. Because every time I go back to India, bro, like I explain to people, it's like this weird feeling of like when I'm just walking around, and it's like I'm just surrounded by my people. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not like my family. It's like my actual, like...
Yeah. People that have an automatic, like, you have a lot of things in common with them immediately.
Yeah, like physical, genetic, like, you know what I mean? Like, literally on a biological scale, like, these are my people. Like, goddamn. You know what I mean?
Like, I look like you look like me, damn.
You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that's kind of like the type of feeling you must have got, like, just walking by. Especially not being exposed to that much out here.
Oh, yeah, and I ate so good out there.
Caribbean food is fire.
Man, because people, when they tell me they've eaten Caribbean food, they're like, yeah, I love backyard. And I'm like, yo.
It's like, I love Mexican food, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, good as fuck. Like, yeah.
So is backyard for the people that don't know, like myself? Would you like? Cause I like I love that place. Is it considered like the Panda Express of Caribbean food? Like what Panda Express is to Chinese food, that's what backyard is to Caribbean food?
I feel like I wouldn't say like Panda Express. I would say maybe like it's for me it's good food. Like it's not necessarily good Caribbean food. It's just good authentic food. Yeah. Like it has its things, and like, you know, of course people make things differently, but like it definitely feels like it's catered to not Caribbeans. Yeah. You know, it doesn't taste like it would be
catered to the American palate.
Yeah, definitely. And like I kind of hate that. Like I wish it was, I don't know, because I'm assuming the people that started it and created it were Caribbean. Like, if they weren't, then I really don't want to eat there no more. But like, you know, it just feels like it gets like altered, or like it's not even different in a way of like, oh, this is a different recipe. It feels different, as in like you took away something from this. You know.
Have you ever been back to Trinidad for like a visit?
No, not yet, but I'm going next year. It's always been really expensive, and it's a really small island, so most of the time to get, like when I was younger, the only way you could get there was you had to go through Florida.
Oh, so get on a ship.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you would have to go. That was the only flight like to there was from Florida over like New York.
Yeah. Oh, so, from anywhere in the world, like
from the U.S. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, you know, there was no direct flights, or, you know.
There's probably only one airport out there too, huh?
I think there might be two, because there's two different islands. There's Trinidad and Tobago. So it's Trinidad and Tobago. But I believe there's two airports, but only two airports for the country. Like, you know?
I mean, that's different,
Exactly. So it was just super expensive, but now I've been looking into it and just even seeing, like, I have friends who've gone to Trinidad before I have. And I'm like, it just feels so wrong, like, fuck, you know? But now kind of looking into it and seeing, like, the pricing has kind of gone down. There's even flights from SFO directly to Trinidad now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And they're not crazy priced either. So I'm like...
Yeah, it depends, too, on what time of the year you go. I feel like flights to anywhere from anywhere at a specific... I say from, like, June all the way up until late July, just don't do it. It's going to be, like, super expensive. Yeah. And around the holiday season, too, Christmas time.
Oh, definitely.
Best time to go anywhere is around like March, April, or like October, November, right before Thanksgiving. Yeah. That's when you get the most bang for your buck, so to speak.
Yeah, and you can't plan a trip to Trinidad in February because that's when Carnival is. So it's gonna be real expensive, and people go all the time out there just to go party. Like that's where it started.
Hey, so what is Carnival? Is that like just a week, like a Mardi Gras out there?
Yeah, essentially. But it's I don't know if Mardi Gras like they get time off. So for Carnival you get time off from school, get time off from work. And it's one of those things where, like the whole neighborhood is involved. There's different cultural things, different like celebrations within it. Different groups do different things. But like imagine if this street was just everybody's outside. So you see like a band of people. You see people like with instruments coming down the street. And they might stop at your house for an hour. You give them some beer or some rum and some food.
So it's like the whole world party.
Yeah,
pretty much
everybody is.
That's crazy.
It's not just like out here where it's like 4th of July. Some people will celebrate, some people don't. Or Christmas, some people, everybody. It doesn't matter. Everybody, even if you're a square, you're out there like, in some fashion. Yeah.
Is it because I heard of Carnival in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. So is it like a shared Caribbean type of culture where it has a different flavor, say, in Trinidad and Tobago versus Jamaica versus like Barbados, or am I way off here?
Definitely. It has its same roots. Because I believe Carnival was actually started in Trinidad.
Okay.
It's rooted there, like soca music and all those things, and has taken place in, like you said, different places. They have Carnival out here too. I don't know if I want to go to that because I don't want to like be disappointed. But
they did a gentrified Carnival. That's crazy.
Like I'm scared. I'm scared to experience it and be mad. Like I don't want to do that. But
especially for your first one.
Exactly. Yeah. Like no. So, but yeah, it's essentially the same everywhere. Like they do the same things. Like mass, which is like everybody. You see the costumes. Like certain groups have one costume. Yeah. So like they'll take all year to create that and. But yeah, they do it all over the world now, so that's pretty cool to see that too.
That's fire.
Yeah,
you might have to book a flight out there one of these days, man.
Another festival. My cousin, shout out Steffi. She lives out in the Netherlands, and they got this thing called King's Day, and I think it's like a whole day or a whole week where like all the Netherlands is just drinking and partying. She was just telling me it's just like the streets are just a sea of, bruh. The other side with the Netherlands, them some big motherfuckers, bro.
Oh, they're tall as hell.
Yeah, they're some of the biggest people in the world come from the Netherlands. Like, I think that country has the tallest people in the world.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't go there.
Like, their average height, I want to say, is like what? People. Average male height is like 6'1",
6'1", yep.
And then average female height is like 5'11". 5'10" average.
That's nuts.
What the fuck? Yo, yeah.
Yeah, I can't go there, man. I'm 5'8" and full of hate.
Yeah, like whoa, that's crazy.
That's a bar.
Honestly, the Netherlands is so dope. Like even a lot of DJs and producers and like people that are really popping in the music scene right now are from the Netherlands.
Yeah,
and it's just because they're all, especially just in the UK and like Europe. They're all so open to every type of music that it just expands their palette. So even when they make music, it's just so good.
Yeah, I heard really good things about the Dutch people, man. I've heard really good things. I've had
I'm like, do I need to move?
Yeah. I have family friends that live in the Netherlands that used to live in America, and they say it's like the difference is night and day in terms of, community, openness, healthcare, free education.
Food.
Just
they actually give a fuck about their people.
Right.
Yeah, like
they care about them.
There's a lot more trust amongst people.
Yeah.
And it's just sometimes I wish we had that here.
Yeah. I mean, it was made so we didn't, so we don't. It was made that way.
How do y'all differentiate between like a permanent lesson in life versus, you know what I mean, just like a temporary lesson?
I'll
let you go first, our esteemed guest.
A permanent lesson.
He's like, I need some time to think about it.
What you got? Yeah. Permanent, you said, so the difference between like a permanent lesson and a temporary lesson. Honestly, I feel like there are no temporary lessons because I feel like every lesson you take something from it, whether it impacts you deeply or impacts you like less than that, but it's always something that you carry with you. And yeah, I just feel like so there's like a difference between, for me at least, between just the impact rather than if they're temporary or not, because I think once I learn a lesson, I'm never forgetting that shit.
Yeah.
I take it with me, and like whether I build on that or not, or like let it just be, But yeah, I would say I measure it on impacts. But there are things that have happened even just recently that are like truly like life changing and just like perspective changing. That you like kind of just have to adopt, or that you feel like you really need to and to move on forward. But I would say the lessons that like have and hold the most impact to me are ones that I feel daily, or like things that involve my own values of like, all right, well, if this is who I'm gonna be, I need to stick to this. Like this is what I believe in, this is who I'm gonna be, this is what I've learned through that, and like how I'm gonna keep building on it, you know?
Yeah. I say building off that, like, honestly, at least for me, like, I would look at a permanent lesson as something that redefines you or changes the way you look at the world. Versus, like, a temporary lesson is like a temporary kind of L you took. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that, like, I find myself repeating mistakes sometimes, but those are the type of mistakes I repeat. Like, the ones that don't have lasting impact on your life.
Yeah.
Versus, like, if you repeating shit that has a significant impact on your life, it's like, there's something deeper in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But I think you guys are kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because
the impact of it.
Yeah, it's. I was gonna say I like the way you worded it because it's on a scale of how big the impact is. I've said this before on this podcast. I don't remember which episode it was, but for me, a lot of the lessons I take, I gotta learn them the hard way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because
you're stubborn.
I was born being very stubborn. Like if I make a decision to do something, or if I want to do something a certain way, I'm just gonna stick with it and live with the results, even if those results are like not satisfactory, so to speak. So, for example, right, if something as simple as low impact, me driving on the freeway coming here, right, I'm not leaving enough space between me and the car in front of me. It doesn't take until I have to slam on the brakes once to realize, okay, maybe that wasn't the right way to go.
Let me back up.
Let me change my approach.
Yeah.
That would be like what you would call, Ronnie, a temporary lesson.
Yeah.
Because you're going to do it again.
Exactly.
On your way back.
Exactly.
And then next week.
Exactly. It's going to keep happening until...
But
I hope not.
A permanent lesson would be something a little more severe as far as, relationships that ended or...
missed opportunities.
Yeah. Ways I got hurt or somebody else got hurt. Reflecting on what I did to provoke that or what they could have done to provoke that in me and how I can prevent it, so to speak. Or, for example, like, I'll get a little more personal. Like, a week or two ago at work, I work a corporate job, I was on the phone with my boss, and we were just having an argument about something petty. And it just escalated to the point where we were just, like, yelling at each other over the phone. And as soon as I hung up the phone, I'm like... that was not worth all the energy I just spent on it. And so then I had to reassess my approach at work and just, like, going in, like, what energy do I have going into work?
Yeah.
If I go into work with a hateful energy, then nothing good's going to come out of it. Yeah. But if I go into work with a little bit more optimism, then I can get through my day a little bit easier. Yeah. So things like that, to wrap this up, it's based on severity. Like, low scale, like, temporary lessons versus... big impact, permanent lessons.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The scale is a good way to look at it.
Yeah. I have a question for you based off of even what you said. Do you think you're more of a person that, like, is focused on the end goal? So, like, you're stubborn about, like, I need it to be this way in the end, or are you stubborn about, like, the process to get there? So, like, if it's like, all right, the directions are, you have to go 1, 2, 3. To get to 4, right? Are you okay if it were to be like, all right, well, you can go actually 1 to 3 to 4, and you'd be okay with that because you got to 4, or would you be like, nah, I need it to be 1, 2, 3 to get to 4? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it depends on what actually it is I'm trying to achieve. So, for example, like in my personal life, outside of work, I have long-term goals that I want to achieve. So, to answer that question, I'm stubborn in the end goal. What it takes for me to actually get there, the steps it takes for me to actually get there can be revised along the way. So I'm not stubborn about that. So if something doesn't work out the way I thought it would, I'm okay with pivoting. I'm not that stubborn in terms of step-by-step basis. Yeah. But going back to work, a job, so like I'm a project manager, right? So we manage projects that last like 2 months, anywhere from 2 months to like a year for like an industrial packaging company. So at this point, I'm kind of well-versed in the start and the end point.
The whole process.
And the whole process step by step. And me personally, on a personal scale, I don't really have that much tied to like the outcome. I don't care. Like, it's not my money. It's not my company.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Not my
matter to
outcome.
me. Yeah. So for me, I just want to go by the book, step by step by step by step. And if somebody tells me to do something else that's going to take more out of my time, then I'm going to be stubborn as in like, nah, I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah, no, I feel
Because
that.
I have a job, I'm getting paid to do this, and that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a lot more open, a lot more flexible when it comes to personal goals that I want to achieve.
Yeah, your own path.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
What about you guys, though? I want to turn that back to you guys.
Yeah, I'm for sure a person that's like, I just want the end to be what I want it to be. And honestly, in everything, because I found, I also used to work a corporate job. I worked for a law firm, and just, I think there was like a lack of structure in there. And for me, I do appreciate structure. I'm not like completely like I need it.
Exactly.
But like, I'm very flexible, but there was just none at all. So you had to be very, very flexible. You had to just figure some shit out. Because even if they gave you directions, there's a very high probability that the person that gave you directions has never actually done it. So like when you start doing it, shit stops making sense. And then you're like, actually, I can't go in this order because it's not that. Like, so for me, I'm like, all right, I just need to get here somehow.
Yeah.
How do I do that? I don't know, but I need to get there.
Yeah.
And yeah, especially being in like entertainment, shit never pans out the way you see it, but things end up being okay. And sometimes even the end goal is better than what you wanted it to be, even when you like let things like go in that way. So I think I used to be a person that was very like, all right, I need to stick to the plan. But then when the plan stopped working for me all the time, I just was like, fuck the plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me just get there. Let me get to what I wanted, you know?
And plus, just to add on to that, like, the more flexible you are, like, the less you hold on to, it has to be this a certain way. It just brings you more peace that way.
Definitely.
If you just accept the fact that, life happens, it throws you curveballs, things don't happen the way you expect them to, it's a lot more peaceful that way.
Yeah, because there's some people that will be so mad about, like, not getting their way through the process, and also, like, the fact that they did get what they wanted in the end, but because they didn't get it through the process, they're still mad. And it's like, but you got
didn't go the way it wanted.
exactly.
You got the end goal.
You got it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you upset about? Like, everything's fine, you know? And I'm like, damn, I could never be. That's miserable.
I think that's where the phrase "enjoy the process" or "trust the process" comes from.
Yeah, trust it.
Yeah.
Trust it.
Because even if it doesn't go the way you planned, you still got to trust what you need to do.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say, though, because I'm probably more along the lines with you in the sense of, like, I've always been, like, create my own path to get the result. The only problem with that, though, is sometimes, like, it's like J. Cole said, you know what I mean? You came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. So it's like, now you got to do double the work to come back.
Yeah.
Goal is still the same. The goal hasn't changed. You know what I mean? Whatever that goal is for you. But then again, I don't know. I feel like carving your own way and making your own path to it, you come across experiences most people don't. You know what I mean? You come across people most people don't. And I don't know. And that's where I think, though, the phrase what you talking about with enjoying the process is coming from. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those, once you set out on whatever road you're going, whether it's you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to get there, or I'm going to figure out how to maneuver 1, 2, 3, 4, or I got to get to 4 and I'm going to run around until I get to 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? As long as you pick one and stick to it, you know what I mean? However long it ends up taking, at least you know your route and how you move. Like that, I guess that's my point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you mentioned that J. Cole bar, the bad news is you went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Are you alluding to sometimes the process doesn't go necessarily how you wanted it to, and you're having to go back and clean up some messes that you didn't anticipate? You get what I'm asking?
Yeah, because that comes with not going step by step. That comes with finding my own way to the end result.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it's one of those, you creating your own roadmap.
Yeah, because there's no set manual on how to do whatever it is you want to do. You just
100%.
You got to
I
figure it
guess
out.
the manual would be like you see somebody else doing it, but even then, like they're
that
doing.
don't mean it gonna work for you.
Yeah, you feel me? It goes back to how they say it's just like the older you get too. I'm realizing it's just one of those like, yo, our parents were first time parents. Like, you know what I mean? Everything they were doing is like these
Brand
were
new
first
to
time.
them.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They humans trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
So even if somebody's like, hey man, like I know how to make it as a DJ, it's like for sure work for you, but that's you. You know what I mean? I could probably work with
Definitely.
80% of it, but the other 20 still got to be me.
Yeah, and that ties to everything, like you said, parenting too. Because at some point, I'm gonna be a first time parent. Like we're all gonna be first time parents, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's you have a blueprint for how your parents did it, but you know where they fucked up, right? And you're like, I don't want to repeat that, so I'm just gonna do it this way. But then even when your child grows up to be the age that you are now,
They're going to be like,
they're gonna be like, so you fucked up, and then just the
Yeah.
cycle continues. I guess
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
But you
There ain't no
perfect for
rules
me.
to nothing. Nothing. There ain't no rules. Figure it out.
Yeah, just figure it out as you go.
Figure out your process. You got it.
But Zuri, I guess one last question I had for you specifically. We were talking offline about how you started at San Jose State studying music, and then you switched over to marketing, and you ended up graduating with a marketing degree. Would you
Yeah.
say the lessons you learned in college or through getting that marketing degree have helped you on your current path, or not at all?
Yeah, definitely. I think there are, even if, because going back to that bar, you went the wrong way. I found that even in me going the wrong way, I've still found things that were useful. So when I turn back and go where I need to go, I got some extra tools, So for me, even like stepping away from music for a while, like that did feel wrong in
Yeah.
a sense, but I also gained a lot of skills graduating with a marketing degree. So like I got to do a job in corporate and I got paid pretty nicely, but then also realizing that corporate is not for me. Like it's not fun, but I got some money. I got something I can make money off of, But yeah, it's all helped. It's all been a journey to get to the same place. And honestly, you never know what's helpful until you reach somewhere else where you use what like you've learned.
Yeah.
Because there's things in business that I've learned to do, how to conduct myself, how to like do certain things, whether it's paperwork or process or just anything that I've learned in business school. But then there's also things I learned in music school. And being in the music business, I feel like I never really anticipated myself to be here. And it was never something I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like I've always just been kind of like, oh, events or, community or market, like one thing. But now I'm like, wow, these are all the things I've ever done in one. So yeah, I think it's all been pretty worth it, which is pretty cool to me. But yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
it's all helpful.
That's dope.
Nah, I feel that. Hey, one last thing I'd like to add. Like, what would you, because I feel like we're all, because you're what, like 96, 97?
97, yeah.
97. So we're all approaching that point. I mean, some of us closer than you, but.
We're washed. No.
You know what I mean? Not just like that 30, 31-year-old,
Yeah.
32. 'Cause you know what I mean? I turned 30 next year. So it's one of those, you kind of reflect on where you at now, where you want to be, and then where you thought you'd be at this point.
Yeah.
So if it's something that you could tell, like, your younger self, like, let's just say, like, 5th grade, 6th grade Zuri, you know what I mean? On where she thought she'd be, where she trying to be, what would you tell her about this journey of life?
Honestly, I feel like I would just tell myself to take a lot more chances because I think I could have ended up where I am now a lot faster. And I think that's not necessarily because of like me acquiring certain things or knowledge or money or whatever, but just me fucking up a lot. Because I feel like one thing I've always taken with me where people always say, fail faster. Just fail fast. Mess up all right now. Learn as much as you can right now. And so for me, I feel like fear stops a lot of people, and it's definitely stopped me. It still stops me from doing certain things, but I'm learning a lot to like push past that and what happens when I do that. Like, everybody thinks fear is the worst thing because you feel like you're going to die if you fuck up, but you don't. Like, you just be like, well, that didn't work, And so for myself, I think I would just be like, yeah, just try a lot of things. I think I was already raised like that to try a lot and to do and to follow my curiosities, but the world kind of makes you fearful of doing those things because of repercussions or what people say is going to happen to you. But yeah, for myself, I would just be like, just do it, try it, fuck it. Like I would have been a DJ earlier. I would have left music school a lot earlier, you know?
Yeah.
There was a lot of things I could have saved myself from if I were to just like try and just take that leap, you know?
There's a lot of wisdom there.
Nah, that's
You know?
real.
A lot of wisdom and failure.
What about you, Ronnie?
Shit.
How would you answer that question?
I'll probably tell myself to not care about other people's opinions.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's a
I feel
big one.
like, at least like probably like, you know what I mean, the first 15 to 20 years of my life, it was probably like, you know what I mean, I let other people's opinions subconsciously, at the very least, if not externally, like affect how I move. And I feel like that kind of stopped me or kept me from, you know what I mean, pursuing what I wanted to pursue early on. Or I'm not saying that I always want to be a podcaster since I was like 12, but like, you know what I mean?
We didn't
Like,
know that existed. No.
nah, straight up. But like, it's one of those, like, at least been more in touch with my creative side instead of
Yeah.
being judged for it. And then being like, but then again, I feel like that also went back to just being an immigrant and like trying to find my place out here in America. You know what I mean? And try to find my community. And then at that point, and then my personality too was just more susceptible to like get influenced by the outside. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I feel like that's also too just a normal part of adolescence and being a teenager.
Yeah.
When you're in high school, you're a teenager. Between the ages of 15 to 20, it's just normal to care about what people think, and then you grow up and realize that it
It's
doesn't
the
matter.
worst.
Yeah, it's,
Especially in that age, you like you're aware of it. Because when you're a kid, you're not really aware that people care or they don't even care. But like when you're a teenager, you're hyper aware of things. Like, oh my God, everybody's judging me. Nobody cares. About
Yeah. It's like you have enough life experience at that point, but not enough to really know like there's a good side of it. I feel like just teenage years are just a tough time for everybody, bro. Those are the years that mold you, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy too when you go back think what you said about thinking that everybody thinking that you're thinking about or they're thinking about you. Everybody's moving with that, so it's like you got 50. Like even think about the gym for example. You be in the gym like, damn, bro, I feel like motherfuckers is looking at me.
Yeah.
50 other people are all in there like, damn, I feel like somebody looking at me.
like, bruh. Because it's like, yeah, some might be looking at you, but they're more conscious about themselves than you. Because even if they do think you're weird, they're going to be like, all right, that motherfucker's weird. And that's it. Like,
That's
it's
it,
not
keep it
going to,
pushing.
you know?
Like they're not going to tell you that, and you're not going to know that they're thinking that. So what does that change? It
Exactly.
doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter.
Nothing. Like,
Yeah.
whatever, you know? Everybody's worried about themselves, like, which is completely fine because, yeah, but nobody's worried about you like that. Like, it's not
Yeah.
going to affect you that hard.
What about you, brother?
What would I tell my younger self?
Baby Will.
It's not my name. No, I'm just kidding. I would go back and tell him to just get out of your own head and just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be fine. You know? Because the two answers you guys gave kind of tie into each other. You said just ignoring fear. Well, not ignoring it, but recognizing it's there and just pushing past it and not caring what people think. Those two things to me are tied to like confidence.
Yeah.
You know? And when I was younger, as is the case with a lot of people, I didn't really have that confidence, right? But not to like be braggadocious or whatever, but looking at where I am now in life, I think I've become the person that I had in my head when I was 6, 7, 8 years old that I wanted to be when I was 28, 29, you know?
Yeah, talk
So,
your shit. Bragging
So, I mean,
Right.
I would just tell that little dude to, you know, stop worrying so much. It's all going to be all right.
Yeah.
And I try to keep that mind frame now to where there's things that I want to achieve or accomplish that I haven't done so yet. And when I get into like a spiral of worrying or, you know, being nervous about what's going to happen, just be like, all right, just you'll be fine.
Yeah.
In 20 years' time, you're going to look back and be like, oh, why was I worrying so much? So just get out of your own head.
Hell
Yeah. I heard something the other day, it's like on social media, of somebody saying, like, be where your feet are.
Yes.
Like, be exactly where you're so worried about what happened in the past, in the future, that, like, where are you currently? Like, worry about that. You'll be fine in the future. You were fine in the past. Look at where you are right now. You're fine. Like, you'll always be fine.
Exactly. And in the end, it's like we are in the prime of our lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like time only like continues to move forward, and you're not going to be this young and this healthy and this vibrant again. So just enjoy it while it's still here. I try to just stress
Exactly.
that to myself every day, and it's very important.
Man, 'cause, yeah, getting older, like, my birthday is actually next well, in 7 days. Yeah.
Hey,
Happy
So-
early
Happy early
birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, turning 27. And it's crazy because I have a lot of friends who are now like maybe 2 years or even 3 years younger than me. And they're like, you're old. And I'm like, honestly, I felt older when I was younger. And now I feel like, I don't know, just so secure in who I am that I'm like, yeah, like, the fuck? Like, I'm over here. I'm out here. Like, I'm
Yeah.
young. I can run. I can walk. I can talk. I can see. Like, I can do all these things. And I feel still, like you said, young, vibrant. I'm alive. But,
Yeah.
like, you know, even when you're in your earlier 20s, I feel like you don't have that yet.
You don't have it,
So
yeah.
even though you are those things, like, it's kind of even, not necessarily everybody, but it can be wasted because you're just so worried about everything else that you're not like, wow, I'm in the prime of my life.
I'm never gonna be 22 again.
I'm
You know
in the
what's
best
crazy?
shape ever.
Yeah.
Like going off of that thought, like when up until most of us are 21, we're rushing to grow up.
Oh my God.
We're
yeah.
rushing to get to 16. We're rushing to get to 18. We're rushing to get to 21. We're rushing to get to 25. Next thing you know, whoa, I'm 27. Whoa, I'm
Like,
29.
I'm 27.
Shit, I don't feel 27. Like, the fuck? You know what I mean?
You're
Like,
not rushing to get to 35 now, huh?
but see, and then it's even one of
That's
those, like, you take care of yourself, like, shit, you'll be 45 feeling 35.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Facts.
Like, so it's just
You'll
one
get
of
to
those.
45.
Yeah.
Yeah, not facts. But it's one of those. I think what you were saying is, as far as like we don't see that. I think it's because we're so consumed by rushing to get old and have
Yeah.
people not look at us as we're young. We're not appreciating. Where
Take
we're
us
at in the
seriously.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That will feel better later. And it's like,
Yeah.
later is now. Like,
Later
what you
is
do
now.
now
Get
is
old.
gonna...
Everybody get old.
Everybody gets
Yeah.
old, man.
Do not delay your happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause even
Damn, that's a bar.
Yeah.
man, that part, don't delay it. Because if you keep putting it off into the future is never going to come.
Yeah.
The future's always going to be in the future.
Exactly.
Like, you know? That shit is wild to
Bro, I
me.
heard this wild ass quote yesterday. It was your future self is looking at you right now through memories.
Damn.
I was like, damn, that's a trip.
I just imagine me like, because yeah, I even think about myself like right now, like the fact like I cut my hair in the last when did I cut my hair, like March?
Looking fly, I ain't gonna lie,
Something like
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's growing hella quick, like damn.
Your hair
but-
grows fast.
Yeah, because
You said March.
actually it might be, or actually no, yeah, March I cut it.
Damn, like how low?
I cut it like all the way down, and
Oh,
then I
damn,
cut
that
it
shit-
again, and then so now it's like yeah.
At least that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Crazy. Kind of,
gotta
because
wait
then
till
I
you
can't
hold-
even like appreciate my haircuts.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
like, fuck.
you gotta give it somewhere. You know what I
Man,
mean?
I know. I'm like, oh,
You want
yeah.
good hair, you gonna pay for a lot of haircuts.
Bruh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, facts though,
'Cause
bro.
I had waves for like 3 weeks, and then next thing you know, it turned into curls because it got too long.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. But yeah, just even like for me, trying to be like, wow, did I imagine myself to be like this at 20, like 26, 27?
Yeah.
It's like, no. But now looking back at who I was, I'm like, of course I'm this way. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Comes
Yeah.
with self-awareness.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, thanks, Zuri, for.
Hey, how long was your hair
doing that.
before?
So I had it in locks, and like literally half of my hair was cut, but it was like halfway down my back.
Man,
So
it
my hair
should,
was-
it should probably feel hella weird that first week.
Oh my God.
Shaking your
It was
head, you like-
weird. It was so, especially because I have like a lot of fitted hats.
Yeah.
And so my hair, I didn't realize like my head is not that big.
100%.
It's just my
Just the
hair.
hair,
Yeah, because when I cut it off and then I was like, let me put on my hat. And I was
You
like,
didn't have 8 fitted hats.
Yeah.
Your head is not a size 8, Zuri.
I was so mad. Because I was like, fuck, I got all these fucking hats.
And
I
they
can't
probably
even
fly
wear
as
them.
fuck too.
Bruh. And then now even I'm like, okay, I'm at like a level where I can kind of fit them if I like pick out my hair
Yeah.
and whatnot.
And
but
you
I'm
gotta,
like,
like,
it's
place it
still,
on it.
Yeah, it's still not like all the ways.
Nobody move.
Because even right now, I'm like, all right, I kind of want to play around with this length of like get like a different type of haircut. But I'm like, fuck, then I can't wear my hat.
Oh,
And
it
it's
gets back
summertime.
down.
Yeah. I'm like, damn. Yeah, because low-key, I want to like go back like down to like all the way to waves again too.
You
'cause I
gotta
was
just
like,
get
that
a
was
set of
cool.
hats for the fade.
I do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so fucking mad about it.
Just have a box for, you know what I mean, different times.
Yeah.
I went through the same thing. Remember when I had the fro, like
Bro, I
second,
forgot
third,
about
big
that.
ass like what was it, flat top?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like the
yeah.
dude from Hey Arnold. Like I cut it down a little bit to like a mini fro,
Yeah.
but then like during that time I bought like a bunch of fitted hats, that were based on that. So now they're just sitting in my garage.
Yeah.
And I have to just like accept the fact that I'm not gonna wear it because I'm not going back to that hair length again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm just not gonna wear
You gotta
hats.
sell them bitches.
You gotta
Shit, you never know,
Depop.
bro. I see a lot of people in their 40s that if they can grow their hair, they growing out their hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're 45, shit, you might fuck around and get some cornrows and be like,
That's usually when the hairline starts getting pushed back.
a little
Oh
bit.
my
You know what I
gosh,
mean?
yeah.
So you gotta grow it out to like even it out type shit.
Yeah, that's
Coming
just
to
crazy.
the left and the right.
Man, I won't part ways with my hats yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. No. I paid too much money for all them hats.
Yeah, lids be
God no.
Charging
You
up
know
the-
what's crazy though? Lids used to be the plug. Like I remember back in like middle school, like bro, what was it? $100 for 10 hats.
Yeah, I'm bugged.
Bro, I used
yeah.
to flip the bitches in school all the
My
fucking time.
God. Ugh.
keep the sticker on them.
Oh yeah, bro. Even
Man.
to this day, none of my hats got the stickers off. Of it.
Yeah.
It just
Man.
looks weird, bro. Like where your sticker at?
A week. Yeah. For now, I've been getting like my hats from like Hat Club too. I really fuck with the Hat Club hats.
Yeah.
But like, cause they only have what? They have 3 Hat Club stores. One in LA, one in New York, and one at the Great Mall. It's so
Damn,
weird.
that's the only. There's only 3.
Yeah,
That's
there's
why I
only
didn't know
3.
that. That's crazy. 2 of the biggest fashion cities in San Jose.
In San
The Great
Jose.
Mall, Milpitas, not even San
And I
Jose.
believe that was the first one. So it started out here.
Oh, that's real. See, man, the Bay do everything, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The originators.
People sleep on the Bay so hard,
So
especially
hard.
even San Jose. People in the Bay sleep on San Jose, and I'm like, it's okay, y'all just don't know.
Bro, you from Sac?
Yeah. I'm
That's
sorry.
crazy. Because I remember Alex was telling me that, and I was like, that's how you know Keenan. Like, all
Yeah, I
them.
went to high school with him. We were
Hey.
in band together.
That's
That's
crazy,
fire,
bro.
We were on the same drum line. Like, we have the same birthday.
Shout out to Keenan. by the
Damn,
way.
for real?
Yeah, his birthday's next Sunday too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. we
Yeah, so
were
your
the
birthday falls on
same.
Father's Day every year?
No, thank God. Fuck. I honestly, it's gonna sound fucked up, but a lot of my friends don't really fuck with their dads, so I get to hang out with my friends still now, but I'm like, damn, that sucks, but good for me, I guess. But yeah, it's like every 4 years it ends up on
On the
Father's
same
Day.
day? Y'all do something on it or not?
Nah, like my dad forgets about my birthday, which is like, it's so close to like what? Just remember that it's father, but that nigga.
That's
I
a
don't
whole.
know.
That's a whole different
Right,
conversation.
that's a whole nother shit. But yeah, this year I just want to chill, like, especially because people were like, oh, last year I had a party on my roof. And that was cool, but it took a lot of effort. And this year, after planning so many things, I'm like,
Just want to chill.
I don't do shit. I want to go to Target. I want to like sit down and have a regular ass day.
It's a real Gemini right there.
You know, I want to chill. The next thing you know, you see me turning up.
Rooftop running back.
The weather's
Just
nice.
saw you at Target this morning. Man, things happen.
Right? I texted everybody, said just come through, pull up.
Everybody's looking for a summer party, so you never know.
Honestly,
honestly,
yeah.
bro, them low key birthdays be the ones. So, like, it's crazy. Even this past birthday, like, I did some like every day around my birthday, but the day of, I'm not trying to like.
Do
Nobody wish me.
nothing.
Nobody tell me nothing.
Don't
It's
call
just
me
it feels weird being the center of attention. Like,
Bro,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
all the time. It's weird. Even like being a DJ now, I don't like being. I don't think I'm ever gonna be that person that's like, look at me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Hey, so let me ask you this, because you kind of in a similar position as I am, like bartending at work. You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
see a head staring at you.
Ugh.
Are you looking at them, or are you just on your?
Honestly, at this moment, I'm not. Like,
Yeah.
I don't look at people. Like, there might be times where I, like, really do, like, scan the crowd. Of course, you got to pay attention to the
Yeah.
crowd. But, like, I pick people out of a group to, like, really pay
Okay.
attention to. So, there's always some people that I'm playing for. Because it's like, all right, you're really listening, or you're here. Like, especially playing like a hotel, there's, it's a beautiful area, beautiful bar, all that. But, people are in their own world. I'm background music for the most part, but then there's those people that do come for that. So I'm playing for them. But yeah, for me, I get really nervous. Like, so I get all sweaty and shit. It's too much. So I'm like, I just am focused and I'm trying to play for me. Like in that moment, like what am I dancing to? How am I gonna dance right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't look at people because, especially in this day, like I think it's been weird that a lot of the attention has shifted onto the DJ, because you'll even see in clubs how like people of course, people always gather around music and where the music is in the DJ booth, but now people just face it. Like, nobody's dancing. Everybody just, like, face the same direction. And
like
I'm like, dance, bitch. Like, oh, my God. Why are you paying attention to me? You just need to hear. You don't need to see me. I'm not doing anything.
I'm an NPC in your world. Go have fun.
Like, bruh. Yeah, no. I don't get it. Because even when I'll go to the club or I'll go, like, go to a party or something, my back is always, to the DJ. Yeah. I don't need to see you. I need to hear you.
I'm vibing.
I'm vibing. I'm here. I'm looking at the other people who are participating. Like, what am I going to look at you for?
Hey, what's your thoughts on people? Well, two-part. One, people coming in and asking you for requests, and on a single night that you do a set, how many times does it happen? And people pay attention to this because this is a real game. Don't fucking do this shit.
I have only been DJing for 7 months. It happens almost every time you play. Like, anywhere that people can see where the DJ is and they have access to you, they will come up to you. It doesn't matter if there's a rope. It doesn't matter if, like, you are mixing and you look focused. People will tap on you, especially if they're drunk. Or they'll, like, try to be like, hey, and it's like, what? You know? They'll come up with their phone. And most of the time, it's a song that has no relation in any way to what's playing. Like, somebody asked me, I was playing, like, a bunch of edits of, like D'Angelo, like, but it's, like, upbeat, like, funk edits of the songs. And somebody asked me to play Avicii, which is like EDM white man music. And she's like, can you play some Avicii? And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. I had to look it up.
That's crazy.
But yeah, honestly, there has only been one request that I was like, you know what? I will play that. Like, not now, but I'm going to put it in here for you. Because if it fits and it, like, matches the vibe, like,
I see the vision.
I might play it. Like, you know, but most people's requests are not. You know, I've been joking with my friends that if the next time someone gives me a request, I'm going to, like, announce it on the mic. Like, hey, y'all, I just want to let y'all know this was a request by this person right here. So this is for them.
Throw tomatoes at him, not me.
Exactly. This is their song, so they're responsible for this.
Yeah.
Bro, that'd be funny as hell.
Yes.
They get so mad.
Yes.
Put that up there.
I'm like, bruh, I need to do that. I'm going to embarrass you.
That's actually a good way to, like...
Deter it?
Yeah, deter it. Don't, like, this is going to happen to you.
Because I'm going to get blamed. And then people going to be like, what the fuck is this? Not
you
me.
thought you were better.
Exactly.
I am better. It's this dumbass.
But there was somebody came up to one of my friends playing, and then she was like, hey, can you play some good music?
That's so insulting.
Yeah. I was like, whoa. Also, the person that they said it to, I'm like, this person been DJing for like 10 years. There's no way you said this to them.
Damn.
Some good music, bitch, get out.
Yeah.
This is not for you, obviously. Yeah, no, it's crazy. So if you are gonna request a song from a DJ, 1, give them some money.
Yeah.
2, be polite when you're about to do it. Like, do it at a time where they don't look focused. Like. And 3, make sure it's good. If it's not good, save it.
Yeah.
Put it in your headphones or something. I don't know. Go home. Play your music. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, just don't be socially inept.
Yeah.
like read the room.
It's crazy. DJ culture has, like, changed a lot. Because I feel like people used to go out to listen to new music or to be exposed to new music. And now it's like, everybody just wants to hear what they want to hear.
And you know what's crazy? Everybody's playing the same shit. And it's and in rotation. Like, there are very few DJs who it's like, damn, bro, you have a full-on set that you worked on or different, you know what I mean? Like, you got multiple crates that you run through. You do this type shit versus, bro, you just running top 40 over and over again.
Top 40. Oh, God. There's no reason. There was a night I went out and I'm like, I don't usually like going out in San Jose like that because, like you said, top 40. And I went to 3, I won't name the places. But I went to 3 different places. Why did I hear the same song? Every time, like, I walked in the door and it wasn't the first song I heard, but it was either the second or the third. And I'm like, there's so many songs in the universe.
It's like the city got one big ox that it's, like, connected to all the clubs.
Yeah. And people be going so crazy. And I'd be like, y'all are, what is this? Y'all are just fucked up.
That's the other thing too. You drink when you DJ?
No, I try not to. Like, if I need a little, like, to get loose a little bit, to, like, get out of my head, I'll, like, take a shot or I'll take, like, sip a little bit. But I personally don't like to be too out of it because I want to make sure, like, if something goes wrong and I'm drunk.
Yeah. Now, is that something that, like, you just went into it with? Or, like, you're just like, yo, well, I can't be doing this.
I think I've never really been a super big drinker, and I usually only drink when I do go out. That's a lie. But, like, I only drink, like, a lot when I go out. Yeah. But I think also I'm a person that when I'm around something a lot, it just doesn't intrigue me anymore.
Yeah.
Like, so now that I'm out all the time and, like, that's my job, it feels like when people offer me alcohol, it's just kind of like, I'm okay. Like, I don't really need it. I just would like some water. Can I have some tea? Y'all got tea? Like, y'all got coffee?
Y'all got something good for me to put in my body?
Yeah, y'all got, like, some fruit or something. Like, I'm hungry, you know? And it's like, I just started. I'm going to be around this all the time. And especially, like, DJing is draining. You have to be there all night, all the time. You have to have high energy. You have to pay attention.
And
all
then
these
it all
things.
ends 1:30. Boom. All right, go to bed. Like, the fuck?
And you
know I'm
gotta
finna
do
be
it again
wired
the
up.
next day. And so for me, I'm looking at longevity. Like, I want to be able to do this for a long time. I want to be healthy and do it. Like, I don't want to have liver damage and I'm at the club and I can only stand up for 30 minutes. Like, you know. Yeah. Like, nah. I'd rather not.
You don't want to develop bad habits this early on.
Exactly, because that's downfall of a lot of people.
I feel that.
Their habits.
Well, shit, Zuri, I appreciate you hopping on.
You gave us a great conversation today.
It was actually some real, like, open our eyes to a lot of stuff. Hopefully, y'all paid attention, you know what I mean? A couple of the do's and don'ts. And yeah, man. We definitely got to run it back.
Yeah, you know where I'm at. I'm not too far, so let me know.
Hell yeah. You got anything coming up soon you want to promote? Anything you want to push?
I'm at Signia Hotel, downtown every third Friday. So this time I'll be there June 21st from 8 to 12 with my mentor, Chale Brown, and Spicy, who's a good friend of mine who actually, like, helped me into the DJ world. And, yeah, just look out for Universal Grammar, Intentional Affair. Those are the things I'm involved in. Do a lot of live music, concerts, DJ experiences, things that you wouldn't think to see in San Jose, but it's here. We bring it.
Where can the people find you on social media?
You can find me at Intentional Z. Not Intentionals. Intentional Z. You know? That's what it is. So you can find me there.
That's what's up. Thank you very much for coming on, Zuri.
You're
welcome anytime.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's been good.
And as always, it's your boy Ronnie.
And I'm your brother Waleed, the other side of the coin. On behalf of the 2 Coin Podcast, we are signing out.